What's up, my crypto legends? The price of Bitcoin is hitting a huge, massive Fibonacci resistance on the higher timeframes that we're going to go through in today's episode. But most importantly, what is the local structure doing? Are we going to get a major drop? Is this price action getting exhaustive? Or are we still creating a huge higher low here and the price is ready to get into a huge, massive pump? This is something that we're going to talk about. What are the most important levels and highest probability zones for our next trading setups? We're taking a look here at the liquidity changing. There was a lot of liquidity beneath $34,000, but now we're building a lot of liquidity at $35,000 and $36,000. We're going to go through this. We're also talking about the stock market, S&P 500. We're going to talk about some possible trading setups here. We are hitting a crucial resistance zone. We're going to talk about the possible opportunities that we could have here in between today and tomorrow, and also what do we need to look for here for a clear sign of strength, because if we do break this resistance, I can only see up and only for the stock market, S&P 500, guys. Make sure to stay tuned in this episode. Hi there, Andy here. Welcome back to another episode, guys. We need to talk about this again, all right? It's the Fibonacci retracement from this pivot high and this pivot high. This is massive resistance. We also talked about the naked point of control here from this zone. This was basically a week back in May that created a high volume node, right? And it was rejected very nicely. This is obviously a swing short position, or at least a day trade short position. I'm not sure if you entered this short, guys, but this was very much mentioned in advance over a week, saying let's claim this high, hit the weekly naked point of control. If we do get that rejected, it is time to jump in quickly in a short. I didn't trade it because it was at 4 o'clock in the morning and I was not awake to trade this. But anyway, these levels are very much respected. So now the question is, are we going to manage to come back up to this zone, all right, and test it again? What are the resistance levels? Will we create another double, triple top right over here, or is this going to be a lower high and we're going to start crashing down? Obviously, we're going to talk about the next possible setups, all right, levels that you need to be ready for. Now, if you are going to get ready for these levels, you want to trade on the best exchanges. Obviously, I've been trading for over 4 years on Bybit. Bybit is super easy to use. It has the best bonus out there from all of the exchanges, which is $30,000. Now, if you cannot trade on Bybit, well, you can use MEXC. This is the one that I am using at the moment, and you get $20,000 worth of bonus. This is great for scalping because the fees are extremely low. If you are a defensive trader and get into small little trades every day, it's definitely a great option, guys. Check it out, MEXC. You've got a great bonus down below, but if you can trade on Bybit, they have the best bonus, okay? $30,000. Diving into this situation, guys, well, what we need to understand is Fibonacci. We love Fibonacci retracement, and we love the 382, the 50%, and the 618. When we do take a look at Fibonacci from the all-time high to the low here created in November of 2022, we have the 382 Fibonacci, okay, exactly here at $36,000. Now, we can see that we tapped that level. We also have the 618 right over here from this point. We just got these two clear lower highs to take a look at Fibonacci, and we've been talking about this for a long time, okay? So we got beautifully rejected from those fib levels, as you can see with this wick to the upside, hitting $36,000, which was in confluence with that weekly naked point of control. I mean, yeah, this was definitely a good shorting opportunity. Now, the question is, hey, Andy, we have created already a double top. We've created a swing failure pattern. We have tested this high already. And I'm going to say, yes, I mean, it is pretty obvious that, it does look a bit toppy, okay? It does, but overall, we need to understand that we are still creating higher lows. We are still creating higher low structure. So there is no doubt that, speculating that we are going to get that move down here, beneath $34,000, we are going to get that Bart Simpson pattern, as they say. This does happen a lot on Bitcoin, where you have a pump, you consolidate, and then you drop, where they call it a Bart Simpson, right? Or an inverted one. Could this happen? Yes, absolutely. But we could still have one more leg up here to the upside, potentially to test these highs. Or maybe even these highs over here. Maybe we're going to test them, guys. I don't know. What I do know that this high and this high are very important levels. And we could either hit this one and reject aggressively here, potentially to the higher low support again, create another higher low, but they will be taking profit. We will be taking profits at this zone. I'll be explaining why, but right away. But I'm going to explain why this is a good resistance zone and why also, possibly we're going to hit the highs and create kind of a triple top. This is what we need to expect, okay? This is what we need to plan for, all right, for our next trading opportunity. If you haven't traded this one over here, this one dropped over $1,500. This was a pretty significant drop on the price of Bitcoin of almost 5%. And we want to be ready for another trade like this one, right? If you miss this trade, which is the next one, right? It might happen in the next coming days. It might happen tonight. It might happen next week. But it's just plans to get ready for, okay? And we will only want to trade the highest probability trades. Now, trading is really a boring game. It is a boring trade, basically, because you only have to plan your trades and just wait for them to happen. I would not trade right now, currently where we at. Yes, at the lows. I am in a long position from lows here. And I can explain that right away. It is basically based on a higher low structure and looking for a potential bounce to come above $35,000 because we are in an uptrend. But, I'm getting in at the lowest level possible and I'm managing my risk. There's small positions. I'm protecting position. And yeah, basically it is based on small little swing failure patterns on the lower time frame. And based on higher low structure, I'm looking for another leg up, potentially to get above 35,500. Now, thanks to the liquidity heat map, I can see that the liquidity has changed on Binance, on Bybit, on OKX. There is significant liquidity right now above $35,500. You can see here that all this yellow, this is millions of dollars that have been adding up here with the stop losses above 35.5K. So the liquidity has changed. There was more liquidity beneath $34,000. But as we have been dropping for the last 2 days, it seems like we had a lot of those long positions closing, all right? Feeling fearful that we could get that drop. And now the liquidity has changed. And we are in an uptrend. So we just need to understand that, hey, we are creating higher lows. I do see the chance right now to getting that move up to above 35,500. This is how fast things can change. So this is why it's always important to, talk about those major updates like this one today. So best levels I see available right now, if we start moving to the upside, it's going to be very difficult to look for a short position in between these lows and these highs. It's just I do see the price recovering back up with these higher lows to higher levels. So the best levels, in my opinion, is that daily level that hasn't been tapped. We got a daily close and open from the 1st and 2nd of November that was slightly front run here. As you can see with this price action on the 6th of November, we did not tap that daily level. So it's a high that we do have for a liquidity grab, just like I showed you here with the heat map. We could claim that liquidity and get a big major rejection. So it's very interesting to see this high with the daily, with all of that liquidity sitting above the level for a wick to the upside and a big rejection. So we just need to be ready for that swing failure pattern, guys, at that level. At the moment, I do see the price here creating a higher low for the moment, and obviously these lows over here were, it was a good attempt to get into a long position based on higher lows on the higher time frames. So this is the best zone, $35,500. We could hit the daily. We could hit this high from the 6th of November and create a swing failure pattern here from this moment and get a pretty significant rejection. Remember, this level is in confluence also with a lower high right over here. I'll be paying attention for SFP from this high or from this one. One of them two is good for me to get into the short. Liquidity grab, bang, entering the trade. When we do take a look at Fibonacci from this pivot high over here to the pivot low, we have 7/8 Fibonacci slightly above at 35,670. It is very disturbing because maybe the wick is going to be extremely aggressive. I will not be shorting the pump, I will be shorting the retracement, but I am interested in the 7/8 Fibonacci, and that is obviously based on a harmonic pattern. We do have potentially here a much larger here Gartley pattern, which is bearish, that could take us here in between today and tomorrow to the 7/8 Fibonacci that is going to possibly reject the price aggressively. So I'm waiting for that liquidity grab above this high, possibly with the Gartley pattern, guys. Massive pattern. The way you can trade this is as you hit above the 7-8 Fibonacci, you are not taking that short decision. The short decision is taken as you are rejecting from that level. Just a level here, possibility for a short. Only as you reject is where you enter. You're not shorting as you're pumping into the 7-8. Very important to understand. Also, what if the price suddenly starts pumping aggressively? No reaction, no rejection. We just fly through to hit this high again here and the weekly naked point of control. Well, obviously, I would be looking for the possibility here of another swing failure pattern. If we do hit that high here, liquidity grab and start rejecting from the level, obviously, and closing here beneath the level, it's a pretty nice shorting opportunity. So it could end up into a triple top, massive liquidity grab, and then moving down to eat up all of these higher lows. Definitely a possibility. Those are the best levels for the shorting opportunities, okay? SFP from here hitting the daily, rising a little bit more, hitting the 7-8 Fibonacci, forming this Gartley pattern right over here. And also, we have the rise to the highs here of the X point, okay, to create that swing failure pattern. Also definitely a possibility. But overall, we are trending to the upside. The best option here for longs would have been here at this level. And that is also based on the 7-8 Fibonacci. Of course, this was a little bit more choppy, a little bit more complex, okay, when we do take a look at pivot low to the pivot high. We did talk about a 7-8 Fibonacci, quick long position at this point. Got a significant rise of $300 early this morning. However, we were claiming down, creating another swing failure pattern, and then another swing failure pattern right over here. So choppy, 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 and then we are getting this rise, okay? So the best option, I did get stopped out once from a long position here, did stopped out at a minor loss, obviously managing risk very well, but managed to jump in again here at the lowest point as this low was claimed with this wick, and then obviously on the recovery, jumping into that long position. I am targeting higher. I've used a low leverage and low capital on this long position because I think that this can get above $35,500, okay? So just a small position, a day trade. I'm not scalping using very high leverage and very high capital because I think this one can be a nice slow move to the upside to 35.5K. So that's based on the long position in, based on the 7-8 Fibonacci, based off local swing failure patterns. This position is protected already, obviously, and it's based on, higher low structure. We are creating higher lows. I do not know if this moment is going to be the moment that drops. So if I can get in at the lowest level possible with protecting my position, I will enter, of course, on that trade. Let's move in straight away into the S&P 500 because the stock market S&P 500 is testing a crucial resistance level. We talked about this major level here, I'm not sure when, but this was over a month ago where we were talking about, if we fall down to the point of control of the last 2 years, it's just going to get a bounce from that level. It's too strong of a level. And we have a lot of Fibonacci confluence, obviously, from the clearest higher low levels. This one for here, for example, you're hitting the 618 Fibonacci. So the bounce has happened. Let's talk about what's happening right now and where are the next trading opportunities. And I want to let you know, remember that, there are crypto trading platforms that don't require KYC to trade stock market, okay? You can trade, all different stocks, S&P 500, they got commodities, and that is BingX, guys. This is a great crypto trading platform that you can use Bitcoin, US dollar tether to trade stock market, basically, all right? They have a huge amount of different, indices, Forex, and you can use US dollar tether. You got a great bonus of $5,000 down below, guys, to trade on BingX. If you want to trade stock market, I'm going to start trading stock market very soon, but I'm just too focused on Bitcoin. But yeah, I'm definitely, taking it into consideration. And we'll likely use BingX, okay? I have used BingX in the past, and it works absolutely great, guys. So check out that bonus. Now, stock market, what would be the next trading setup that I would enter? Now, we are testing the scene of the crime. We mentioned this the other day. This is going to start being, big, massive resistance. Then we got the higher low support trend line. We got the drop here, as you can see on the price action. We are hitting a level that was respected as support here during June, July. Look at this. We've been bouncing from this level, bouncing here again. we are hitting that level again right now, as you can see. We're struggling here as resistance, the second week of October. It's a big level. Not only that, it is the support higher low trend line. So you are seeing the exact reaction at that level. Fibonacci retracement from this pivot high to the pivot low, it is the 50% Fibonacci from the highs created in July to the lows created in October. 50%, very much respected level, and you adding it with confluence, with the support level here from June, July, August, and we also have the support trend line acting as resistance. So what the price needs to do right now, okay, is break above this level very, very strongly. Now you can see here with the VPVR also, you've got a high volume node exactly at this level. It's going to be very interesting because we might have an attempt in breaking above these highs. We can see the reaction at the resistance trend line. It's pretty obvious. Now, these highs are interesting. I do see a possibility of a shorting trade here, okay? You would have to be ready for a swing failure pattern, basically. Liquidity grab above these highs, which was created the second week of October. This level is in confluence with the 618 Fibonacci pivot high to the pivot low. Pay attention to this 618 because you could create an SFP as you reject here from the 618, right? And it could get you a pretty nice pullback, maybe during the next coming days, if the price manages to get above this level. It's just a setup that I would be just patient here, set some alerts on TradingView, because it looks pretty obvious that, with this high volume node that you have on, basically on you can see on the price action from June and July, you're hitting resistance. If the price tries an attempt to break above it, you just got a big high volume node from the price action here during the summer. You got the 618 from the top to the bottom here of this drop during the last few months, and this lower high clear liquidity grab for a quick swing failure pattern. It's just a pretty obvious level, guys, something to be paying attention to. On the other side, you might have an explosive breakout and you might just fly through the level. If this were to be the case and you just break through here, right, and you don't get a rejection, it doesn't give you a shorting opportunity, this will be insanely bullish in my opinion. Of course, you could be getting one quick little resistance here from lower high resistance trend line, right, from lower high structure, but this will be looking pretty bullish. I do see this bouncing from this level over here and possibly forming like a little bit of a wedge scenario, descending wedge, and breaking out from this zone. It's just going to be a clear sign of strength if you do get back above this higher low support trend line that is acting as resistance right now as we speak for the last few days. And you're getting above one of the highest volume nodes from this zone here over the last few months, right? Looking at the volume profile, it's just going to be a clear sign of strength if you do get above this volume range and this high over here. It will be a sign of strength for continuation to the upside to test the July highs. So we're just going to be ready for that. Either a rejection, if we reject, get beneath the low here from the second week of October. It's a short trigger with good risk. If you blast through the level, we could be looking for a continuation here on the retracement to get into a long position. For me, the strategy is pretty clear for the next coming days. Remember, guys, on BingX, you can trade S&P 500 and many different indices. You can trade, Forex and many other ones, using BTC or even dollars, okay, stable coins. Thank you very much, everybody. You got the links down below. If you want to join the Legends community where you do have daily updates, okay, from me, from Sam and Devolt, some other coaches that we have there in the community, check it out. You also have the link in the description. And if you haven't learned to trade on Bybit, you do have a great tutorial on Bybit right over here where you can learn how to use that crypto trading platform. Thank you, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.